Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jami.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives. Hello, FitBody Lifers. It's Papa Bear, Mama Bear talking to you at another episode of FitBody Lifestyle. And this is our Christmas episode.
Yes.
So we have Christmas lighting in studio here. We have me with my red Christmas shirt, Mama Bear with her ugly Christmas sweater.
I have my ugly Christmas sweater on.
Because I couldn't find my Christmas sweater, which I need to remedy that. But we are very happy to come to you today, and thank you for tuning in. This episode should air a couple of days before Christmas. And so what we thought we would talk about today are last-minute gift ideas for your fitness friends and family. And this could include yourself, because there's no gift that's quite as good as the one that you give yourself. So we could talk about that too.
I like to give myself gifts.
I liked it too. I like it too. I mean, that way you always know
you're going to get
that
exactly
you're going to get what you
want.
It's the best way. I love the people who put Amazon gift things out there for people to choose from. And man, the people who make it easy are the people that I love to gift, because then you know exactly what they like. But there's also some people that they're hard to shop for. I think I'm probably one of those people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He's the hardest.
I am, and I acknowledge that. So what we thought we would do is kind of just give you some ideas for food for thought that may not be food. Maybe it will be food. We'll cover that. But let's start out with there's no order of these things. There are just things that you could pick up last minute to gift a friend. So where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing, of course, would be a gift card. So when you said the nice thing about gift cards these days is that, you can buy them online and have the gift card emailed and things like that. They're making it a lot easier these days. So, I mean, Amazon, obviously you could do, and then, they can purchase some of the items that we're going to talk about, or, if your person loves Lululemon or Aloe or, one of the other clothing companies, things like that. You could do something like that. A lot of our fitness friends love coffee, so a Starbucks gift card.
We're just going to cover everything
that.
in the first 2 minutes then.
No, I'm talking about gift cards specifically.
Yeah, but that's also then bridging into those things that you could get.
Yeah, it's the same thing you always do.
I
so
probably do. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't say I don't do
overview,
it.
and then we break it down, and then we summarize it. That's how we
Fair
do
enough.
it.
Okay. So it's the bluff, the bottom line up front.
Yeah. So gift cards, and the reason I bring that up is just because, when you are last minute, which I tend to be a last minute person, it is something that you can do really quickly. So then we'll go into some of the other things. I know sometimes we don't want to give a gift card. We want to have something that's, a little bit more thought out and specific. So that's where we'll go into some of the other items.
I was just going to say, one of our chosen family, he gave our son a great gift for his birthday, and the gift was not in yet. It was ordered. And I thought what he did for that gift was really brilliant, which is they gave our son a card and they printed out, and I know people are saying print out. What print out? I don't even know that most people have printers anymore, but they did a printout of the gift and then put that in the card to my son for his birthday. And I thought that was brilliant. So if you are ordering something that can't be there on time, one of the things that comes to mind is a weight belt that you can get customized. There's a lot of companies that customize weight belts. That's a wonderful gift. If you were going to gift somebody a weight belt that's personalized, but you are doing this when you hear this episode, you go out, that's a great gift, but I'm not going to get it in time. Just do it and print it out on a piece of paper, put it in a card and say, hey, this will be here for you, in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever it is. It's very thoughtful. It's very personal. And, it's not that you don't always have to have the gift there. It's I think the most impactful gifts are the ones that really are what that person wants and things that will make a difference for them. I can just tell you from my perspective, the best gift I get is when somebody thinks of me. I'm not about the stuff. I'm more about just, hey, you thought of me. So a card is often more powerful to me than any physical item. But this way it gets the best of both worlds. You give somebody a card, you give them a little printout with the picture on it, and they're good to go.
Yeah, I love that idea. And I love the custom weight belt idea. And especially say you have somebody who just turned pro or just started competing. Maybe you want to put NPC athlete or IFBB pro, or if they have like a nickname, like you're always good at giving people nicknames and, that are really cool and fun. So you could put their nickname on it or say they won a show, the name of the show and champion, or just something that's specific and that's personal. I think that can be a lot of fun. The other thing I was thinking of that you can personalize would be like the wolf pack bags, or there's other backpacks and things like that have the where you can Velcro on them and you can get the little patches on them. Those are a lot of fun too. And, so you can put whatever on there that person is excited about.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are fun because they can pull them off, put new ones on. And so if you have other holidays later on, you could get them a new patch for it. So that can be really fun too.
The other customizable things that are kind of good or that we see a lot of it, customizable mugs. So Yeti offers a great customization program that we have used. We use for our Olympia mugs that we give to our athletes. The thing I like about Yeti is that you can customize the front and back. So you can put a logo on one side, you could put a Santa Claus on one side and put, hey, Jami on the other side, or put Jami IFBB Pro or whatever, NPC. There's great customization on there, and then you can get whatever size you want. So Yeti's great. Stanley is another popular one. We've got some customized Stanleys. They only have customization on one side, I believe, and because they have the Stanley logo on the other side. There are other. I don't know if Hydro Flask and some of the other ones, but all you have to do is type in customized, water flask and meet whatever your budget is. If you're a service member and you don't already know, you get a discount with Yeti. So that's an advantage. Was one of the reasons why I prefer them. But that's a very meaningful gift. I mean, water and hydration are something that are really important. And it's so funny that when people have a mug, they tend to fill it up more, and they tend to it's one of those things that just people will carry with them. So if you get them a 32-ounce mug, their water consumption is 128 ounces. Hey, they know they got to fill that up 4 times. So those are things that make a difference to people.
Yeah. And then, any kind of gym accessories are great. So the gloves, you talked about the weight belts. Somebody actually gave me, they had a small little, it's kind of like a little purse, but it's smaller, that kind of like a fanny pack, but that Lululemon has one. And I know there's others out there, but it's small in that way. It fits like your phone, a card, just the basic things that you would be carrying around the gym. So you don't have to bring like a whole big bag with you. So that's really great. Even like towels, if you've got little gym towels, things like that, those are all great ideas. And then, certainly clothing items, those are fun and quick and easy. I know that the IFBB has got a whole bunch of new clothing items that they have out. We have a lot of things there that are on our site too, but just this
shameless plug. Well done.
Throw that in there. But yeah, I mean, gym clothes, of course, I think all of us gym goers love to get a good new gym outfit or shoes, and especially in your case.
Well, I do love my shoes. So shoes, clothing, wrist straps, Versagrips, what else would come in? The water containers for the gym. I think about ear pods. If you have a friend,
that's a really good one.
Yeah, if you have friends that are still using wired earphones, friends don't let friends have wired earphones because they get caught on stuff And if you've never had them ripped from your head when they get caught on a bar, then, well, I have, and that's not pleasant. So, man, but I went back to working out with a Walkman. And if you don't know what a Walkman is, then Google that. I mean, that's how, well, I used to work out with a Walkman and a cassette player just to.
Oh, I was going to say,
yeah.
I was like cassette player. I mean, that was
that I
cool.
got for Christmas. It was one of my favorite Christmas gifts. But those are the kind of gym accessories, I think. Supplements for the gym. So post workout. I think most of the supplement companies, you can get gift cards for them, and you can gift it that way if you don't know what your favorite athlete likes. But if you do know what they like, man, nobody's going to turn their head to a tub of protein or a tub of creatine or some other thing pre-workout, their favorite pre-workout. I mean, that stuff is gold for people. So, and it just lets them know you're thinking about them. Honestly, it's one of those things that we've talked about this a lot, is building your chosen family circle of influence that is encouraging and supportive of the lifestyle choices that you've made. You giving somebody a gift that supports them at the gym and supports this lifestyle is not just an affirmation of your love for them. It's an affirmation of your support and encouragement of the lifestyle choices they have made. And that is huge. I can't overstate how important that is for an athlete to get that kind of stuff, because working out is a lonely thing, and this sport can be very isolating and very lonely. And so knowing that you have that support structure and that support team behind you makes a big difference. And a gift is a great way to do that.
Well, it feels good to be seen,
yes,
and to be, and to be encouraged and appreciated and acknowledged. And so those, and as a gift giver, it gives you, when you have somebody who's passionate about fitness, there's a lot of options as we're going over. So it's a great way to give somebody something that they're going to want, they're going to use, they're going to enjoy. And I do think, like, along the lines of the supplementation, like you said, it gets costly for, athletes. It's one thing that they have to pay for. So, if giving them a tub of protein, or giving them, if what supplement line at least they like, you can, get a couple items from that line, that kind of thing. So I definitely feel like that's, that can be great, and it's easy. Even if, you're on the go and it's quick, and you're going to a party or something and you need to pick something up, you can just stop into a nutrition store and pick up a couple fun things and, get you a gift bag and you're good to go. So that's one that you can get on the fly pretty quick and easy.
And the shoe idea, I will always take shoes, but there are some lifting shoes that you can get. So there are squat-oriented shoes you can get on. Rogue is a great site to get kind of a good cross section of those. The only thing I would caution you with the lifting shoes is that, and you had this experience, don't wear the lifting shoe, the squat-oriented shoes, the actual powerlifting shoes, on days that you're not doing legs, because you got plantar fasciitis out of that because it was too stiff on your arch. But that can be, if somebody's struggling with that, or somebody is always wearing running shoes in the gym, there are days when you're doing legs where you don't want to wear running shoes because it produces a little bit of instability when you're doing those push movements with your feet. So the shoes are always nobody's going to turn down shoes.
A cross trainer, I think, is
cross trainers are great.
Typically your best bet, just because they can be used for a lot of different things,
right?
Or even socks. Socks are a great thing too. And depending on your budget and what you're purchasing it for, something like that could be really quick and simple and easy. Hair ties for the ladies, So, even if you go to some of the stores like Lululemon, they'll have like some really good, like the socks that are moisture wicking. They've got, like the hair things, like all those little accessories can be super helpful and
make a difference.
Yeah, and they make a difference. And these are great. Those can be stocking stuffers, or they could just be small items. If you got a tight budget, but you want to give the person something they're going to love and use and enjoy.
You just brought back a really fond memory, and I've shared this with you. My father was just the most amazing human, and I call him the Zen master, because he was truly grateful for everything that came his way. He was grateful for every day. But we gave him underwear one year for Christmas, and my dad just for history, my dad lived through the Great Depression. If you don't know what the Great Depression was, which some of you may not, Google it. But it was a time of great scarcity of items. And so I think that's probably one of the reasons why my father was so grateful for things. And we gave him underwear one year and for Christmas and socks. And he could not have been happier with those items. He just was over the moon with those things. He put the underwear on his head because he was so happy. And I still have a picture of that on my phone of my dad with the underwear on his head. But the point I'm making with this is never underestimate the power that something like small like that can have on somebody, a friend, because if they need that thing and they have not, I mean, if you know a friend is walking around, they got holes in their socks all day, man, a few good pair of socks on Christmas is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for letting me share that, man.
Yeah, and who doesn't enjoy getting, some new underwears and socks?
Yeah.
Like it's like we all do.
They're simple, but they're a necessity, and oftentimes they're things that you don't think about that you need, but they can make a big difference. So,
right.
Yeah.
The next category is.
And I would say one other thing: be careful who you're giving underwear to, because it's a very personal gift. But if it's a family member, yeah.
I don't think it's.
I shouldn't say be careful. Be thoughtful. Let me put it that way.
I mean, I guess if you got sexy lingerie for somebody who wasn't your,
that's kind of where I'm going.
The significant other. Okay, all right, that might get a little weird. That wasn't what I was envisioning, but okay, I could see where you're going with that. So the next, be like, get a little side eye from someone else if you're giving that to someone else's wife or girlfriend or something.
That might not go over the way you intend.
Yeah. So the next one I really love is the wearable, like health tracker sorts of things. Of course, I wear my Oura ring all the time.
And you're a big advocate of that.
I love the Oura ring. I love the reason I love this one in particular is it's comfortable enough for me to wear while I'm sleeping, and I really love the sleep tracking component of it. But it helps just to kind of remind me of certain things that I need to do to take better care of myself. And then, of course, it tracks my steps, calories, things like that. So it gives me more data.
It can help you predict your cycle. Which is a very valuable tool, especially in our industry in bodybuilding, because it's not uncommon for women to lose their cycle. And having the Oura ring help you with that cycle management if you're having one, and if you're not having one, being able to sense those little temperature deviations that might signal the start of a cycle can be very helpful for nutrition timing. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff around why the Oura ring and other wearables that predict those kinds of things, temperature, body temperature, cycle, things like that, they can be really helpful to your chosen family.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's other ones. I mean, I love the Oura ring, but of course there's the Whoop, there's the Fitbit, there's a lot of different ones out there. I know that one of our athletes, Amy Delgado, we were with her this past weekend, and we actually wanted to track her heart rate a little bit more specifically. So we did have her get the polar band that goes around the chest. That one's really great too. And if you've got somebody who's like doing cardio and then they're putting their hands on the cardio machine to get their heart rate, like that's a little bit more of a hassle, and you have to slow down and things like that. Whereas if you get the strap, that's a handy one.
Plus, it's a constant measure. So
right, it's always there. So if you're somebody who's monitoring heart rate, that can be really great. There's just so many great devices now. That you can get. I mean, the Apple Watch, of course, that tracks a lot of things as well. I don't feel like it's as accurate as some of the other devices, but it all, of course, has other functions that are great. I stopped wearing my Apple Watch just because it was the constant barrage, which I know you can turn off the notifications, but then it's kind of like, why have the watch? So I've gone back to wearing a regular watch and using the Oura ring instead. But it's really what works better for the individual. So these are all really great ideas, though.
And you made me think about some other things in the technology area, and I'm not going to necessarily endorse any item. I'm just going to tell you guys some ideas. And this is one of those things where you probably would have to order it and put the picture in the card. But there's some great tech developments coming out for the gym sphere. There's a device that goes on a barbell or a dumbbell that attaches magnetically, and it will count your reps. There's a pin that you can put in selectorized equipment that will automatically drop set. It will come out at a certain point, so you don't have to put the weight down and take the pin out and reset it to another one. It it does that for it. Actually just basically just jettisons itself from the slot once you put the weights down, but then it has another pin that is your next setup, your next weight up. I've seen that out. There are wedges that you can do, get people to help with those leg days where they may need to keep toes elevated or heels elevated. There are devices that are bands are also very helpful to have in the gym. So there, if you want to go on Rogue, there's a lot of mobility stuff on Rogue. I'm a big Rogue fan because they're just a one-stop shop for a lot of fitness-oriented stuff. But Perform Better is another website. Amazon's got a lot of stuff. I mean, it's got everything on Amazon. But bands are very helpful. What else? There's something else I was thinking
Can we
about.
talk about gloves?
Gloves are very helpful for people.
There's also there's also like a pad. I believe IPR carries it that's specific for hip thrusts.
Right.
So I mean, you could get a pad, but it's specifically designed so that it has less of that pressure on the hip bones when you're hip thrusting the bar. I love that one. We actually have that one in our gym, so that would be an idea as well.
I was thinking about the ankle straps too for doing kickbacks and the unilateral movements. Those are very helpful. A lot of people don't have them. They struggle with them. They use the cuffs. The cuffs are great, but there's actually a strap that goes around. Do you remember the name of that one? I forgot the name of that one.
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what
there's
you're
one that
about.
goes around your ankle. It goes under the foot and around the back. It just gives you a little bit more secure hold than the.
Yeah, I believe
cuffs.
IPR has those as well. So if you're looking for that, it's just a strap that like cradles your foot a little bit better. So when you're doing kickbacks, it's not going to slip around. It's going to be really stable. If somebody that you're purchasing a gift for does yoga, then a yoga mat.
Yoga wedge. Yoga.
I really love those yoga towels. If you haven't seen those, they have, it's a towel, but on the bottom of the towel, it's got like a little bit of these little rubber stoppers so that it doesn't move on your yoga mat. I love those. And the nice thing about those is you can just throw those in the washer machine. And then that way, I mean, obviously you could still wipe off your yoga mat, but it's keeping your yoga mat a lot cleaner. So those are really nice. There's also the yoga blocks and things like that. The strap.
The yoga wheel.
You're very familiar with the yoga strap.
Oh, yeah. Are we just going to leave that out there as a teaser?
I thought you would tell the story.
I don't know. I think we should just leave people just guessing about what does the yoga strap have to do with Greg?
No, I think you should explain it because I think this could be a worse in the imagination.
So Jami takes me. We're just first dating, and Jami takes me to an Ashtanga yoga class, and I say, and we were traveling.
Intro to Ashtanga.
Intro to Ashtanga, the lowest sphere, and we're going, and I'm in my gym wear, and I realized I forgot my towel. I said, "Hey, babe, do I need to bring a towel?" And she said, "No, you'll be okay." So we go into this class.
It's not a hot yoga class.
It's not a hot yoga class, but it was so hard for me. It was like the first time I've done yoga. I think it was the first time I haven't done yoga with you before that, had I?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, I don't think I had done it with you. So we go to this class, and it's in California, and I mean, I'm within 10 minutes of the class, I'm drenched. I am just drenched. I am working so hard to stretch and to be flexible. And then we get to the end of the class, and we're in this movement, and the teacher comes by and she puts the strap in front of me, and I said, "What's that for? Are you beating me because I'm not very flexible?" And she laughed, and she said, "No, this is to help you get deeper into the stretch." And I said, "Ma'am," I said, "I'm as deep in this stretch as I'm going to get. That strap ain't going to help me get any deeper than what I'm already doing. This is the limit of how far this body moves." And she started laughing again. But so that's the yoga strap.
You got a lot more flexible after that by doing your stretching.
And I got better at it because I did it, which I need to thank you for the reminder. I think that was your purpose, is to remind me that I need to go back to a little bit more mindful practice of my flexibility and mobility.
That's a good story. Thank you for sharing that. Well, and that kind of rolls into also along the lines of the yoga. There are also yoga subscriptions. Like if you have somebody, especially if they want to do it on their own. I love the Down Dog app. I use that one. There are others, like if you wanted to do some sort of subscription or even a membership.
Yep. Let's talk about memberships, because I think that's another thing that you could definitely gift. The first gift I gave to my beloved wife here for her, was it Christmas or birthday?
It was, I believe it
Christmas.
was for my birthday, but
Was it?
we were first together, and yep.
And I got you a gym membership to 24 Hour Fitness.
You did.
And that was a huge gift. I mean, you were you keep telling me about how meaningful that was.
It really was. It meant a lot to me. And, you know, of course, part of it was that you wanted me to be there.
Yes.
With you, which was cool. Like, that meant a lot to me. And then, you know, just being acknowledged and seen for what I really love and enjoy and all of those things. So yeah, that was a really great gift.
And if you have a family member that you're getting a gift for, and you know, and by say family member, I'm talking about chosen family. So that includes friends and everything. So just so we're on the same page. If they are a member of a gym and you know the name of that gym, maybe there's something that gym offers. Maybe they offer body work. Maybe they offer massage massage body work. Maybe they offer a separate service. Maybe they offer IV therapy, for example. IV therapy is a great gift to give, by the way, because that can be personal training. There may be several things that you could get them from their gym. DEXA scan. Maybe they offer a resting heart rate monitor scan. It could be anything that infrared treatment, or the infrared beds, the red light beds. Any of that stuff will make a difference for somebody. They will appreciate those kinds of things. So that's another gift idea.
Right. And, you know, a lot of the things you just named at the gym could also be separate from the gym. So
that's right.
You know, if you wanted to get them a membership to a place that does cryotherapy or red light therapy, or, I mean, there's a lot of those places that are like recovery types of places now, or they have maybe the hyperbaric chambers, or infrared saunas, or those kinds of things. Like, there's a lot of places now that have those kinds of memberships, or, you know, things like where you could go get them a gift card and they could use it for whatever they wanted to help with recovery. That can be really great too. Oh, IV therapy is another one.
I was just going to talk about that.
Yeah. We're big fans of IV therapy, you know, whether it be you're starting to get sick and you go in for, you know, the immune boosting IVs, you know, things like that. Or you don't even have to be getting sick. A lot of people go in for a B12 shot or things like that. There's a lot of places now that are offering those types of things that are, you know, really aligned with people who are focusing on health and wellness.
Right. And we talked a little bit about the gift card, but you can get gift cards for most of these places anyway that we're talking about. So if you're not sure what to get, the gift card's a great way to give them the flexibility of getting what they want. But oftentimes most people will complain about what bothers them the most. So if you've just been paying attention, you'll be able to fix that. Blood work is another gift idea that you could give somebody. There are many places that Life Extension is one of the places that comes to mind, but there are a number of places that you can order labs through online. Again, a gift card could accomplish that, but you may be able to look, if somebody has not run labs in a while and you want to gift them labs, man, I can think of no gift that is more meaningful than that.
Yeah.
Because that really says that you're concerned about their health and that you're prioritizing your health, which hopefully they are doing as well. But labs are something that, you know, cost money. And so if you can even contribute towards this and, hey, look, I can't buy you labs because that's not in my budget, but here's $20 towards a set of labs. You know, that makes a difference because, again, it tells that person that you're thinking of them. It tells that person that you're prioritizing them. It tells them that, you know, you want them to be their very best self.
Yeah, a couple of things I think about on labs. Some people are able to get it through insurance.
Right.
And then also, if they're already working with a practitioner, they're going to want to do their labs through that practitioner. So I wouldn't go and also you may not know what labs they need. So that would be the caveat I would say on the labs. But yeah, you certainly could contribute to it.
Those are good limiters and all.
Yeah.
All
and I mean, if you're a spouse, you may know specifically all those things and be able to contribute. No, or if you know a little bit more, but if you don't know the person that well, that might not be your number one.
So you mentioned the C word in just what you were describing, I think, in a minute ago, which is coffee. So let's talk about coffee.
The C word.
The C word, coffee.
I was like, I did not know where you're going with that.
Coffee is one of those drinks that is so integral in our industry. It seems like everybody likes coffee. I was wondering what word
you were going to use.
Integral.
I was thinking universal, but then I was thinking
that's a better word.
You didn't drink coffee until our trip to Europe.
Yeah, I had coffee today. So
wow.
there. So
getting wild and
Jami's
crazy.
coffee, by the way, and I have to say this, that Jami's coffee, and I'm just going to call it Jami's coffee, is so awesome. And so I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but it's a half a cup of egg whites, a quarter cup of what's
Pea
that?
milk.
What's the pea milk called?
Ripple.
Ripple pea milk, and a squirt of stevia, and a cup of basically a normal size cup of coffee. And I thought
A large
a
cup
large cup of coffee,
more than
And
8 ounces.
Before I tasted this, and I've been making her coffee for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. I've been making her coffee for years. I've never tasted it. And so we just went on a little holiday, and I had some coffee during the holiday, and or during our trip, and it was wonderful. And I haven't drank coffee since I was in college. Really. I never even drank much coffee when I was in service, which all my soldiers were like, what do you don't drink coffee? What's up with that? But I just never,
I echo that sentiment.
Yeah. You would always give me crap for not drinking coffee. So we were on this trip, and I had some coffee, and it reminded me that I do like it at times. And so I decided to taste the coffee this week, and holy cow, it's freaking good. I think it's better because I make it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. So the reason why she puts the egg whites in the coffee is because it gives her a leg up on getting her protein intake for the day. So
I just don't feel like having to eat them. I'm usually like, I like to start my day and get busy, so it's easier for me to drink that. And a lot of times I'll do a smoothie, my coffee in a smoothie, and then I'll get enough protein. Yeah, no, I mean, if somebody, and I know not everybody drinks coffee or wants to drink coffee, but if they do drink coffee, then there's a lot of things that you can get them, whether it be a coffee maker, coffee beans, a coffee cup. There's
everybody likes the big, and we don't want a coffee cup, by the way. I think we want a coffee mug. And a mug is just that big thing of coffee.
Yeti actually has some
and
really
Yeti
nice
has got
ones.
some great ones. The only caveat with the Yeti why we can't use Yeti is because I put the coffee into the microwave after adding the other things, because the other things will cool the coffee a little bit. So my baby likes it a little bit warmer, so I'll put it in the microwave. You can't put the Yeti in the microwave.
Well, but if you are somebody who's running out with your coffee, then it's kind of nice because it keeps it warm. That's and that kind of thing.
And Starbucks has great coffee cups too. That just the one thing is they're not going to be personalized, but
right. And
Starbucks gift card.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that says I love you as much as giving somebody that coffee, really. Coffee makers, and there's some great coffee makers out there, and they can be kind of pricey. So I just say that out the gate. But if you're in that zone where you're wanting to get a really impactful gift for somebody, a coffee maker can make all the difference in their day.
And they range in prices too. I mean, like if you do something like a Keurig, like that's not going to be as expensive as if you do like a Jura. Like I mean, there's definitely a range, but that would be something I'd say like you want to know enough about that person and like what they enjoy, because there's definitely pros and cons and benefits to different ones. So I feel like coffee is so personal. So just knowing, what that person likes. Now, obviously a mug or something like that is pretty universal, but
right. And we do find that big differences that some people like Nespresso, some people don't. Some people like Keurig, some people don't. Some people like the fresh ground, some people don't. Some people want the French press coffee. I mean, everybody's very particular about their coffee. They're as particular as the clothing that you wear, so just take that into consideration. And that's again where a gift card can come into play, and you could do some of those things. But man, coffee is just a great gift. Have we missed anything? Oh, I know some things that we missed. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I know. I was going to say, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, this is a shameful plug, so I apologize, everybody. But we had Margaret on a previous episode from Toxic Angels, and Toxic Angels makes, by the way, getting them a gift certificate for their competition suit.
Oh yeah,
is a great idea. That's I guess a shameless plug for the bikini makers. Obviously, Toxic Angels was on, and Margaret from Toxic Angels was on. There are other suit manufacturers, and you could get them a gift certificate for that. Make a huge difference for people, because those competition suits are not cheap.
Right. Or
So
you could get them a posing suit.
they could get them a posing suit, a huge thing. They could get them. So Margaret talked about some things on her website, which is a cleaning kit, and they make that sleeping bag, which I thought was which just kind of rolls up and fits in your carry-on bag. That, if you don't know, when you're at a show and you're getting tanned, you need to bring a separate set of sheets to sleep on. In fact, most of the hotels will make you sign a waiver that says you're responsible if you get your tan on the sheet. So you got to travel with that kind of stuff. Having that little sleeping bag could make a big difference. I was thinking about our blanket, our FitBody blanket. That's fleece material that's so comfortable backstage, because a lot of the backstage areas are cold. A robe, a loose fitting like pajama stuff for when you have that tan on. If you're slides.
Yeah, we have the slides on our website
We have
too.
the slides on our website. These are all things that
So those are like the slide. I'm talking about the shoes that that are easy to get on and off for them. But yeah, I mean, like that's a great idea. Thinking about things along the lines of a specifically for a competitor, if they do the DIY, you could get them a DIY tanning kit. What else? There's jewelry, and that could be really something beautiful and something that's special that they could wear on stage and think about you, whether it be, a ring or a bracelet, or it could be something like that.
Shoes.
Yeah. The shoes are, again, that's a little more personal, but if you know specifically what shoes they want or like, then yeah, absolutely.
And Shoe Fairy is kind of the go-to, but Pleaser also is another one that I think makes a lot of. But I think Shoe Fairy is kind of the go-to for.
Yeah, there's some different ones, but that's they have some.
There are other different ones. You're
absolutely
correct. Okay.
Yeah, I think all of those are really great. I mean, for that matter, if you have somebody who is going to be traveling, competing, things like that. I mean, even a travel sort of ticket or reward or whatever, I mean, even if you have points and you want to use them and transfer them over, I mean, that could be something.
That would be a huge gift for somebody.
Yeah.
I think about, as we talk about gift certificates, one of the things that you could think about is a gift certificate with meaning. And by that, I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. So, okay, Jamie's favorite restaurant, maybe True Food, or maybe a steakhouse, or whatever that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a gift certificate for that restaurant, and then say, this is for after the show.
I like that idea.
This is for after the show. This is your reward for after the show, but you got to earn it. And doing something like that, a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne that's special to that person, that you say, you can't drink this now. This is to celebrate when you get your pro card or something like that. Gifts like that is beyond the gift. It's the meaning that you're attaching to the gift. And oftentimes what I've found is that small things, everyday items are meaningful, but when you put another meaning, like a milestone in that person's life or an achievement that they're working towards, that adds that's the thing that really impacts them.
Yeah. You're always so good at doing the thought behind it, and I do think that matters a lot. Just just showing that the person, that you're thinking about them, that you care about them, that it's something rather than random, but something attached to meaning for them.
What's important by them? Yeah. And the other thing I will tell you is that I think a lot of people stress over holiday gift giving. I do to a certain extent.
I definitely do.
Because we all want the same. I would say we all want the same thing. We want that look. That look on the person's face that you're giving the item to, that just tells you, man, this is exactly what I wanted. This is making a difference for me. This is impacting me so much. I really appreciate it. It's not that they love you anymore. It's just that you've made a difference in their life. And, I think about that, the success poem from Ralph Waldo Emerson, where there's a line in it that says, to know that you have made one life breathe easier simply because you have lived. That's getting me a little bit emotional, because I think about gifts this, but it's not the amount that you spend, it's the amount of thought that you put in. But that also adds to the stress around it, because you're thinking, oh my God, I'm racking my brains, I can't think of anything. There is no perfect gift. Everybody just wants to be remembered. Give yourself the grace to know that if you're thinking about somebody, oftentimes, look, and I want to be respectful of people's budgets, sometimes it's just a card.
I was thinking the same thing as you were talking. As a thoughtful card with a really nice note in it, to me, means so much, so much. Oh, something else that just popped in my head. One of my clients gave me something so sweet for my birthday. It was a case, like a travel case, a makeup travel case, something like that. And she actually had my name embroidered on it. And I thought, wow, that was so thoughtful. And I use it every single trip. And I think about her every time I use it, you know? So, especially if you have someone who does travel to shows and things like that, you know, you could get them something, you know, that's travel related, whether it be a suitcase or, you know, a little pack for their items that they take backstage with them. Most of the times we do ask them to use a roller bag so they're not holding things on their shoulders. So a small roller bag could be really handy. And then I also thought about photo packages for shows, but you would have to know like what shows they're going to do. But that's something, or you could even, you know, put it in the card. I want to purchase your photo package or your entry fees or things like that. So all good ideas. But I think we've covered a lot here. So
yeah, and I would say one thing too, that this is just kind of an outside gift that I just thought of, is because we gave this to somebody recently. Polaroids are back in vogue. And those are the instant cameras that produce the pictures and we just went to a wedding, for Nikki and Joe, and they had a person taking pictures with the little photograph thing that they were attaching in the wedding book, which I thought was brilliant. And you know, if you're just not sure what to get, I mean, sometimes something like that can make a big difference for somebody, because they're, you know, I know we're all attached to our devices, but there's something palpable and emotional about getting a piece of actual photo in your hand that you can think about. So those are there again. There's no right or wrong. There are different things. Our purpose here was giving you guys some ideas, and hopefully we spawned your own creativity in your own.
And I know we're only a couple days out from Christmas, but if you're last minute like me, hopefully some of these ideas helped, or you can use these for birthdays or other times, you know, that, you know, you have those people in your life that, you know, that they love fitness or they love competing, or, you know, whatever sports they like. I mean, we covered a lot of things that would cover a lot of those areas.
We did. And thank you for being with me for this episode and for all the episodes. But it really makes me love you even more, if that's even possible. But I guess it is, because I do love you more now than I did when we started this episode even. Wow. All right, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Wait, did I have you at no speaking on that? Are you okay?
Stop being weird.
You're giving me a look. I can't
you're
stop
adorable. I love you.
You're so stop being weird. I am just weird.
Yes, I love it. I mean, I wouldn't have you any other way.
Okay. Maybe a little bit different. Like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments, leave your feedback. We love it. We are wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Christmas is a hard time of year because just of everything that comes up, and we'll talk about that maybe in a fusion hack. But because it's not
whatever
just Christmas,
holiday you're celebrating.
It's Chris. That's true, because it's not just Christmas. There are other holidays around this time period, and even if you don't celebrate the holidays, our culture just celebrates the holidays. So we are just wishing you the very best in whatever way you want to celebrate this time of year, whatever way you want to acknowledge this time of year. At the end of the day, the most important thing you do is hug and love the people around you that are in your chosen family. That is the biggest gift that you can give, and the one that we would encourage you all to give freely and unconditionally.
That's right.
And so I think I already said like, comment, subscribe, leave your review. Tell us what you did for Christmas if you'd like. We'd love to hear about it. And in the meantime, remember the 3 B's, which is be good to yourself.
Be good to each other.
And be safe. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.